Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. This is the second video in a trilogy I'm making, attempting to explain what addiction actually is, which I tried to do in the first video. And in this video I want to cover how to begin to break it, and the third video will cover how to maintain that. And of course, you know as well as I do, that's a very complex thing, and there are many videos on this channel which cover all the elements that go into rebuilding and recreating yourself. As George Bernard Shaw said, life's not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And when you break an addiction, when you break that cycle and learn to live a new life, then you more or less have to recreate and rebuild yourself. And there's many elements, and they're all covered on this channel. But in these videos, I wanted to sort of explain the essential things, the things that people really don't talk about when it comes to breaking addiction. Because this is not about, this video is not about sort of gratitude and giving service and healing things and exercise and diet and all, you know, many, you know, hundreds of other things that go into that rebuilding process. This video is about what is absolutely essential to break that addiction. The mindset that is essential, what you need to wake up to, if you like. I just want to recap what I explained addiction as in the first video. Addiction manifests in any behavior which we crave, we can't resist, that brings us some sort of temporary relief, pleasure, and always ends up, maybe not straight away, but always ends up with negative consequences. Whether those consequences are to your health, your finances, your loved ones, your job situation, and the many myriads of other things that it will negatively affect. And finally, we cannot resist that behavior. We will always go back to it. We keep doing it. And the cycle continues. We keep doing it, we crave it, temporary relief, negative consequences, keep doing it, etc. A big circle. And that essentially is what addiction is. And at this particular moment in time, when there's so much uncertainty in the world, and at this point in Spain and in the UK to a certain extent, things are sort of lifting and relaxing a bit, but I know you guys in America who watch these videos are still suffering greatly, and my thoughts and heart is with you, as I'm sure everyone else's is. And it's very easy to fall into that cycle of addiction, because that temporary relief and pleasure which we're seeking in that behavior are generally things like sort of self-medicating emotional pain, physical pain, relieving us from stress and anxiety and fear that we may be feeling at the moment in this world situation. It maybe brings us connection because we're lonely and we're in solitude, and we think that this is helping us, these behaviors are helping us. And these behaviors can not just be drugs or alcohol, they can be food and seeking comfort and self-medication with food, or sex, you know, porn, or gambling, and many other things that will have negative consequences. So if you're stuck in this cycle, and I said in the other video, I was a couple of months ago, and you know, you don't realize you're slipping into it. You think, you know, you think that the behavior is perhaps helping you, and it's helping you to cope better in your current situation, maybe dealing with some sort of pain with feeling or those other things I just mentioned. And you slip into this behavior, and it escalates and it escalates and it escalates always. There's no easy way, you know, out of this, because it always escalates. And you don't realize that it's escalating. This is the thing, you know, your mind sort of switches off to it because you become so selfish and self-centered and only focused on getting your next drug or food or whatever it is your negative behavior is, that you become blinkered. You don't see this. It's only those around you that see it, see the suffering, and they feel the pain, you know, because you're hurting them greatly, and they see you hurting yourself. So you need to get out of it. You need to break the cycle. And there's no easy way. There's no one going to ride in, because I always used to think, you know, someone will come and rescue me. You know, this is only temporary. You know, I'm only doing this, you know, just to tide me over, just to make me feel a bit better during this current time, because I'm feeling so shitty about myself or the situation I'm in, or thinking about my past, or this, that and the other, all the things, you know, because at the root of all addiction and addictive behaviour, there's some sort of pain, some sort of suffering and pain, and emotional, physical, you know, spiritual, whatever. It's either from your past or your the current moment. And no one's going to ride in and save you, as I say. No one's going to come on a great big white charger and say, I'm here to rescue you. There's only one person that can get you out of it. People around you who love you might be able to sort of shake you into some sort of action. My family, my daughter in particular, my oldest daughter did. You know, and that was a great help. But ultimately, you know, and you know this yourselves, you may kid yourselves and you may think that someone's going to rescue you, but there's only you that can save yourself from this behaviour and stop it. And ultimately, of course, you've got to find some sort of substitute that's going to, and I'll come on to this in the third video, that's going to maintain the break in this behaviour, some sort of substitute that's going to help the pain, that's going to reconnect you with people, that's going to help you deal with stress, emotional, that's going to help you deal with your anxiety and your fear. You've got to find other coping mechanisms and other tools that are going to help you with that. But initially, you've got to break the behaviour. You've got to wake up. That's the first thing. You have to become conscious. You have to take a good close look at yourself. If you're watching this video, you may be stuck in this cycle, or you may know someone who's stuck in this cycle. If so, share the video with them, and please subscribe to the channel. It just helps some more people see the videos, and like the videos, please, if you do like them, of course. And so what do you need? What is the first thing? Once you wake up and you become conscious and you realise that you are in this cycle and you're repeating this behaviour, and that your life is suffering, it's going down the toilet, everything is getting worse, it's getting escalating. So, need, want, help. Those three things. Need, want, help, and then action. So you have to wake up. You have to realise that you need to change. This is really difficult. If you're stuck in this cycle, you're probably saying to yourself, why do I need to change? I'm feeling comfortable, you know, maybe things aren't so bad at the moment. But I guarantee you they will be. They will get bad, and they will get worse. And it's a long, slow, painful journey down the pan to death and losing everything that you hold dear. So you have to wake up to need. I need to change. I'm in the shit. I can't cope. I'm using this behaviour, whatever it may be, to help me cope with all this shit that's going on in my life and all these things that's happening in the world that's going on around me. And I need to stop it. It's not serving me. Ask yourself the question. Make a list, positives and negatives. How's it serving you? How's it not serving you? And I guarantee the list on the right, the not serving list, will be massive. And the serving list will be tiny. And only temporary. And once you've got and woken up to the need to change, then the hard one, the really hard one comes. Want to change. You know, because what's the easier? Because to change, it's going to bring you pain, it's going to bring you discomfort, it's going to take you out your comfort zone, whatever. You know, if you're stuck in this cycle, there's going to be pain, and whether that pain is withdrawal or you know, and getting through all that, because you have to be a warrior for that, as you know. There's lots of videos on here that will help you with that. But that's, you know, so that, and then you're going to have to wake up, and suddenly your emotions will flood back. All the shit that you were using the behaviour to deal with is going to come flooding back into your life, and you've got to learn how to deal with that. And again, there's videos on that on the channel, but I'll talk in more detail in the third video. So you've got to wake up and you've got to say, well, you know, I'm going to accept that I'm going to go out my comfort zone. I'm going to feel pain. I'm going to be in pain, perhaps, in every way. But at the other side of that change will become freedom. That little, you know, that one word, freedom. You're not a slave to that behavior, that cycle, that substance, whatever it is. You're not a slave to that anymore. Your whole life opens up in front of you. You realize what you were doing to yourself. You wake up to that. So need to change and want to change. And once you've got that into your head and you really do want to change, you know, and you've got that mentality, then you seek help. You know, because I don't care who you are, what you are, how strong you think you are, you're going to need some help and you're going to need some support. That help may come in the form of, in this current moment, Zoom groups, online information, knowledge, videos like that are on this channel. It may come in if you can get out to meetings. If you know the lockdown has opened enough for you to get out to the meetings, if that's your bag, it wasn't mine, but if that's your bag and it will help you, then those. You've got to get help, and if you can, that is, if you're lucky enough to have a family who want to help you and want to support you, or friends the same, reconnect with them. Get on Zoom. Don't use the excuse of this lockdown. Get on Zoom because if you've got Wi-Fi, if you're watching this, get on Zoom, Skype, whatever it may be, on your phone, however, and get in daily contact with them several times. Hold yourself accountable to them, to the other people. You know, it'll give you that motivation and it'll give you that strength, that support that you're going to need to get you through the withdrawal and ultimately learning to live with those feelings that you were trying to hide from and medicate yourself from. So that, I mean, it sounds ultra simple in this video, doesn't it? You know, want, need, help, support, information. But it's not. It's massive. But it will be the best thing that you ever do in your life. If you're stuck in this behavior and you've fallen back into this behavior, even if you've been clean for a long time. You know, as a couple of months ago, I was 4 years clean. But no one is invulnerable from this. No one is safe. You know, anyone can slip back into old behaviors and old habits. But you just have to wake up and want to change. And realize you need to change. So that's all very sort of simplistic in this video. There's lots of support and help on this channel and many other channels out there. And in the third video next week, I will talk about all the things you'll need to do to maintain that change. Once you've broken the cycle, once you've got through withdrawal, which I'll talk a bit about, if you do go through withdrawal. Maybe you're not that heavily addicted yet. Maybe you won't have a withdrawal. Maybe you'll just need to learn how to deal with the behaviours, the pain. Anyway, that's next week. So thank you so much for listening. Please, please, please give it a go. Wake up. Don't stay in the trap. Don't let your life go down the toilet because it's so not worth it. There's so much to live for. Every day is a miracle. You may not think so at the moment, so you know, because I didn't. But it is. So Carpe Diem is the motto of this channel. Seize the day. Much love to you. Stay safe. Stay well. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye.